can you talk, they might want this as well. I spoke with Mr. Testani earlier. He was saying how people like Miss Tenney are out campaigning really hard because they might lose the House this year. Do you think that's something that's true? Should they be worried about that? What do you think?
Republicans are absolutely out hard campaigning. That's what politics is about. That's how you win campaigns. So whether it's Mrs. Tenney, whether it's our local candidate, Senator Fred Akshar, County Executive Debbie Preston, our county legislators, they're all out there knocking on doors, doing events to make sure they connect our message with the voters to keep taxes down, create jobs, and do what we need to do to get this country turned around.
Mr. Datta, in the primary, the Republican primary, it was very hot fought, and a local favorite was George Phillips. How have the local Republicans been reacting to Claudia Tenney now that she's won and looking to represent them?
Well, we had a hard-fought primary on the Republican side, but ultimately Mrs. Tenney won that primary, and everybody lined up throughout the 8 counties of this district to keep this seat in Republican hands, because we need to retain the majority, again, to keep taxes down, to keep creating jobs, and keep the national defense strong.
There's arguments that people that are elected here, they do the whole grassroots thing, keeping jobs down, get to small business, but when they go to D.C., what happens to those grassroots campaigning that they're campaigning for? Do you think that Ms. Tenney is going to be different? Do you think that this is something that she actually believes in and sticks to? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, Claudia is a small business owner. She and her family have run business for generations, so she knows the problems on the ground. She's fought, for those same issues in Albany, and I'm confident if we send her to Washington, she's going to fight for us there too.
The Republican Party's been a little divided between the backing of presidential candidate Donald Trump, but these two here are both pretty much on the forefront of getting out and supporting him. What do you think is the importance of that? What do you think of Donald Trump?
I think it's important to have a united front when it comes to the presidential race, when it comes to congressional races, when it comes to local races like county legislature or county executive or state senate or assembly. So in the end, here I've seen in upstate New York, Republicans are united, Republicans are strong, Republicans are out there working hard every day, knocking on doors, doing all the grassroots efforts that you need to do in order to win campaigns in November.
I think it's important that in a state that typically votes blue for presidential campaigning or elections that we've seen a number of upstaters supporting Donald Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's no secret that in presidential election years, usually it favors Democrats a little bit more. But if you look at the last presidential year here in Broome County, we won the county executive race, we won the state Senate race, we won majority of the county legislature, we actually expanded our majority. So it's what you do on the ground that matters more than what any national poll may say or what other parts of the state may do. Here in Broome County, we focus on Broome County and doing what we need to do to win here.
I have one last question for you regarding Trump.
Sure.
A lot of people, not a lot, excuse me. Some Republicans do not support Donald Trump. How are you guys with Ms. Tenney, because she's a vocal advocate for Trump? What is your plan to win over these so that Hillary Clinton doesn't take them, or some of them that say that they're just not going to vote? What is your plan to get them to come out?
I think in the end it boils down to grassroots politics. It's knocking on doors, it's making phone calls, it's doing neighborhood sweeps to put out flyers, and that helps every candidate, whether it's a presidential candidate, whether it's a U.S. Senate candidate, congressional candidates, on down the line, right down to town and local offices. So in the end, that's really what we're focused on, because that helps every Republican candidate, and that's how you win elections.
Right, but are there specific issues that you guys are hammering on to these people that are just completely not trying to vote for Donald Trump because of the rhetoric that he said?
I mean, in the end, I think it boils down to basic issues. Republicans stand for less taxes, smaller government, and getting government out of the way so jobs can be created by the private sector. So that's the message that we're trying to deliver, and that's the message that we hope the voters hear.
Mr. Datta, in the April primary for the presidential race, Donald Trump won Broome County, as he did in many other counties in upstate New York. And we see that the other winner at that time on the Democratic side was Mr. Sanders, Senator Sanders. Now, have the Republicans maintained the same support and interest in the race and the down ballot as well, now that we see the current layout?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of enthusiasm out there, both for the national races and the local races. We get calls at Republican headquarters literally every day, all day, asking for signs, asking if they can volunteer to make phone calls or go door to door. So those are the things that we're trying to focus on so that we can go out and win those elections come November 8th.
And if I could just kind of switch over to things locally here, how are you feeling about who you have on the platform and your ticket for November?
We feel great. I mean, ultimately, you look at what happened last year with Senator Akshar winning with nearly 80% in that state Senate race. He's running a really strong campaign. Debbie Preston is out there campaigning every day. She's running a really strong race, has done a great job with the county the last 4 years. The county legislature, we have a 12-3 majority right now, and we're looking to hold that, maybe even pick up a seat or two. And then there's lots of town and village races that we're looking to hold seats as well as gain as well.
So, I mean, typically, would you say it's a good time to kind of be a Republican in Broome County based on what you've been saying?
Yeah, it's a great time to be a Republican. I mean, we stand for the issues that the people of Broome County seem to want to prioritize. That's why we've won so many offices over the last several years. We intend to keep up that momentum. All right.